Music Monday. William Smokey Robinson. Oh, Playboy Smoke. He had the juice, he had the tea, but he had some scandals in him too. Let's get started. William Smokey Robinson Jr. was born February 19, 1940 in Detroit, Michigan. So he's an Aquarius. Happy birthday. He's American R&B soul singer, songwriter, and a producer. He was the founder of the Motown group The Miracles, which he led from 1955 to 1972 as the lead songwriter and producer as well. Oh yeah, they had a hold on you. He retired from the group The Miracles in 1972 so that he could focus on his career as a vice president at the Motown Records. He eventually returned to the music industry as a solo artist, but eventually leaving Motown for good in 1999. Smokey grew up in a poor family in the North End areas of Detroit. With both his mother and father, he had two sisters, with his parents divorcing by the time he was age 3. He got the name Smokey when he was a child from his Uncle Claude. His uncle was heavy into cowboy movies, so he gave Smokey a nickname, Smokey Joe, and Smokey rode with that name for life. By age 10, Smokey's mother had passed and he had moved in with his older sister, Geraldine, and her husband and their 10 children. Wow. Throughout school, he was highly intelligent, averaged, and very athletic as well. However, Smokey's most interest was music, leading him to form the doo-wop group called the Five Chimes. Now, fun fact, Smokey used to live right down the street from Aretha Franklin. Even used to go to her house to play with her brother, and that's where he used to hear her playing the piano. He said he had known her since she was about 5 years old. In 1957, Smokey Robinson and the Miracles they met with Berry Gordy after a failed attempt at Brunswick Records. Don't beat me. He came in with this notebook called the Big Ten, and that was a notebook that he had been keeping since high school with over 100 songs he had written. Berry was very impressed now with his vocals and his writing. And with Berry Gordy's help, the Miracles released their first single, Get a Job. But shortly after, by 1959, Smokey wanted to return back to school. And he did studying electrical engineering. But only 2 months later, he dropped out because the Miracles started to blow up. Now, Berry Gordy had formed the Tamla Records, which was reincorporated into Motown Records. And of course, the Miracles was one of the first groups to sign on. In the late 1960s, the group The Miracles recorded their first single to Motown, Shop Around, which was a multi-million hit. Between 1960 and the 1970s, Smokey would go on to write 26 of the top 40 hits for The Miracles as their lead singer. They went on to record songs like You Really Got a Hold on Me, one of my favorites, Mikey's Monkey, I Second That Emotion, Baby Baby Don't Cry, and The Tears of a Clown, with many more hits that was reaching the top 20 hit sales. Now, by 1965, they was the first group to change their name from The Miracles to Smokey Robinson and the Miracles. Y'all remember Rufferhead got that idea right. Between 1962 and 1966, he was one of the most major popular songwriters and producers for the Motown record label, going on to write and ping on to many, many, many hits. Smokey married fellow Miracle member Claudette Rogers in 1959. The couple had 2 children, a son and a daughter, Barry and Tamala. By 1969, Smokey wanted to retire from the touring part of the group so that he could focus on his family, his wife, and children, and also so that he could focus on his position he had earned as vice president of Motown. Now let's get juicy. Throughout his marriage with Claudette, of course, Playboy Smokey had multiple affairs. I mean, y'all, just look at him now. Just look at him. Among those affairs, of course, Ladywood, Hollywood, Motown Lady of the Night. He had a year-long going one with no other than Diana Ross. But from what it seems like, who didn't have her in Motown? And even said that she was friends with Claudette. Scandalous. Saying she was feeling bad about it because her and Claudette were friends. You weren't feeling too bad when you were tooting your ass and that. My bad, y'all. I digress. It said Smokey admitted that he wasn't leaving his wife and, he really loved her, and that's what kind of broke Diane. Even though her people said that, they had no comment on it. I guess Smokey really had a hold on her. Now, by 1984, Smokey admitted to having a baby by another woman, a son named Trey, which set in motion the separation between him and Claudette in 1984 and leading up to the divorce between the two